Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Luis Diaz sticks knife in as Liverpool sent timely message after transfer struggles. Liverpool's summer signings are admittedly yet to hit the ground running at Anfield as Arne Slot's new-look side continues to gel. Hugo Ekitike has been the standout new arrival for the Reds during the opening 2 months of the season, but his fellow recruits are taking their time to adjust. In truth, that is hardly a surprise. Liverpool brought in 10 new players as they went on a 450-meter spending spree. It was always going to take time for things to click after so much upheaval, and it is not as though it was one-way traffic for the Reds on the transfer front during the summer, with the club also receiving over 200 millions when cashing in on a number of senior players. 7 of Slot's Premier League winning squad moved on permanently, or at least committed to, but more on that later, in the summer. Some of them have enjoyed blistering starts in their new surroundings, with Luis Diaz's form for Bayern Munich not going unnoticed at a time when Liverpool are struggling in front of goal. The Colombian boasts 6 goals and 4 assists from his first 10 outings for Bayern Munich following his 65.5 meters transfer and has already won his first trophy with the Bavarians after scoring the would-be winner on his debut against VfB Stuttgart in the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup. If Luis Diaz scores more goals, we'll be unbeatable, Bayern president Herbert Hainer recently declared, according to Bild, as quoted by Sport Witness. Former Liverpool striker Daniel Sturridge has already pointed to the departure of the Colombian as one of the reasons why the Reds are struggling this season. Should the Bavarians go on to win trophies galore this season, with Diaz at the heart of it, and Liverpool's own mini-blip escalates into a full-blown crisis, it will stick the knife in back at Anfield. Tyler Morton is earning rave reviews in France following his 15-meter move to Lyon and scored his first goal for the club in their recent win over Lille. Starting 7 of his 8 appearances in League One and the Europa League, it has not taken the 22-year-old to establish himself as a key player, with his new side sitting 4th in the table. Meanwhile, he has already been quizzed about the possibility of even earning an England call-up in time for next summer's World Cup. Darwin Núñez started well for Al Hilal, with 2 goals and an assist from his first 4 outings after his 56-6-year transfer, but has missed the Saudi Pro League outfit's last 3 games with a knee injury. Eamon Kelleher has enjoyed a respectable start for Brentford after leaving Liverpool to be number 1 elsewhere, with his highlight to date being saving a penalty for the Bees in their 3-1 victory over Manchester United earlier this month. Meanwhile, Jarell Quansah has been an ever-present for Bayer Leverkusen, completing every minute of their 9 matches to date and scoring on his debut against Hoffenheim. His form earned him an England recall, though it has already been a complex campaign for his new club, who sit 5th in the table, after head coach Erik ten Hag was sacked after just 3 games in charge. But it has not been plain sailing for everyone. Trent Alexander-Arnold found himself in and out of the Real Madrid starting winding, facing intense scrutiny for his performances, before suffering a hamstring injury early on in the La Liga Giants Champions League win over Marseille last month. He has made 10 appearances for the Spanish outfit to date, with half of them coming in last summer's FIFA Club World Cup, but started only twice in La Liga before his untimely injury. Alexander-Arnold has made more of an impact than Harvey Elliott, at least who joined Aston Villa on loan on transfer deadline day. The 22-year-old has made 5 appearances for the Villains to date, scoring once. But he was withdrawn at half-time when handed his first, and so far only, Premier League start against former club Fulham last month. Limited to a 4-minute substitute appearance in Villa's next outing against Feyenoord, he was then left unused on the bench for Sunday's win over Burnley. While currently a Liverpool loanee, Elliott is set to join Villa permanently with his temporary deal including a 35-meter purchase obligation. His limited game time so far will not compromise that looming Anfield exit. Part of the midfielder's motivation behind leaving the Reds was admittedly in pursuit of starting opportunities elsewhere. It is only early days for Elliott at Villa Park, and while they have remained elusive in his opening month at the club, head coach Unai Emery has now revealed Villa's plan for the 22-year-old. Time. Give him minutes, and through that, he will feel confident in our structure, the Spaniard said ahead of Villa's clash with Burnley. He needs to be demanding in our tactical idea, how we want to play, and then use his skills. I am happy with how he is working. I know, and he knows, that he has to continue with his adaptation. He is on the right path. He needs to adapt. In everything, but I changed him against Fulham, not because he was playing bad. He was playing good, but I changed him thinking about the energy Emi Buendia gives us in that moment, and his skills as well. He has to continue working, preparing, and adapting of us, understanding everything, then using our quality in his structure. While the likes of Diaz might be thriving at Bayern, Elliot's current plight shows it is not just Liverpool's new signings who are taking their time to settle in their new surroundings. Like it or not, sometimes players just need a little bit of time. Hugo Ekitike gives Arne Slot headache as Alexander Isak sent Liverpool warning. Thierry Henry believes Hugo Ekitike has given Liverpool boss Arne Slot a nice headache after an impressive start to his Anfield career. Ekitike, a $79 million arrival from Eintracht Frankfurt in the summer, became the first player since Daniel Sturridge in January 2013 to score in his first 3 Liverpool appearances. The 23-year-old has thus far totaled 5 goals and an assist in 10 outings, form that has earned him a first-ever France national team appearance last month, with the striker currently with his country ahead of their forthcoming World Cup qualifiers against Azerbaijan and Iceland. Ekitike, though, is now having to compete with a $125 million Alexander Isak for a starting role as the central striker, and was restricted to a brief outing from the bench in the 2-1 Premier League defeat at Chelsea on Saturday evening. But France. Legend Henry is convinced Ekitike has become a very real alternative to Isak for Reds head coach Slot. "You call that a nice headache," said the former Arsenal legend. "There is a choice now, and Ekitike made himself a choice. He arrived and erased any doubts about the time it would take him to adapt. He showed that he is at the level to play for Liverpool." Nobody was questioning whether Isak would adapt after what he did for Newcastle. The question mark was more on Ekitike, and he answered the call. At every club, you need to have players of the same quality at every position, because if someone falls asleep, then the guy that comes in can take your place. That's what we created at Arsenal. The quality on the bench is the same as on the field. Asked which Premier League summer signing impressed him the most, Henry said to Betway, "It's Ekitike. People will say it's an obvious one, but credit is due. Nobody thought he was going to arrive and perform like that." Liverpool's defensive dilemma. Why Araujo and Guehi were both on Slot's radar. Liverpool's early season campaign has been defined as much by what didn't happen in the transfer market as by what has unfolded on the pitch. With defensive depth already a growing concern, the club's inability to secure reinforcements at centre-back has become a focal point of discussion. Despite strong efforts on deadline day, Liverpool missed out on signing Marc Guehi, a move that, in hindsight, could have eased the mounting pressure on Arne Slot's defensive unit. Now, reports from Spain indicate that Guehi was not the only high-profile defender Liverpool had in their sights, with Barcelona's Ronald Araujo also emerging as a serious target. Liverpool's centre-back situation grows more concerning. Liverpool began the season with 4 recognized senior central defenders, but the situation deteriorated quickly. Giovanni Leone's long-term injury came just weeks after the club's failed pursuit of Guehi, leaving Slot to manage a threadbare backline. Ibrahima Konate's inconsistent form has compounded the problem, while Joe Gomez, once a key part of the Reds' defensive structure, appears to have fallen out of favor. It's a situation that highlights both recruitment missteps and an element of misfortune. While Virgil van Dijk remains a model of reliability, there is an increasing sense that Liverpool are walking a fine line defensively. the absence of an additional dependable center-back could prove costly as the campaign wears on, especially with the team competing on multiple fronts. Liverpool's pursuit of Ronald Araujo. According to Sport in Spain, Liverpool explored the possibility of signing Ronald Araujo from Barcelona during the summer. The move, it's claimed, was partly influenced by uncertainty surrounding Konaté's long-term future and contract negotiations. Araujo, regarded as one of Europe's most physically dominant defenders, was reportedly available for around $52 million due to a temporary reduction in his release clause. However, despite interest not only from Liverpool but also from Juventus, Tottenham and Chelsea, the Uruguayan, made it clear he intended to remain at Barcelona. The Reds' interest in Araujo reflects Slot's desire to build a defensive core capable of sustaining high-intensity football. Araujo's blend of pace, aerial dominance, and composure on the ball would have complemented Van Dijk perfectly, offering Liverpool a strong alternative should Konaté's struggles persist, weighing Araujo against Guehi. Both Guehi and Araujo were identified for their reliability and ball-playing ability, key traits in Slot's tactical setup. Guehi, however, was seen as the more attainable target due to his Premier League experience and adaptability to English football. Liverpool's failure to conclude that deal, whether due to valuation differences or timing issues, has been a costly one. With Leone sidelined and Konaté struggling, the gap in defensive depth is glaring. While Araujo would have been a marquee signing, Guehi's consistency and leadership qualities made him an ideal fit for the Reds' evolving backline, January options, and future decisions. With the January transfer window on the horizon, Liverpool will likely reassess their defensive options. The club's recruitment department has a record of acting decisively mid-season when necessary, as seen with the arrivals of Virgil van Dijk and Luis Diaz in previous years. Araujo's situation at Barcelona continues to draw attention, especially as he reportedly slips down the pecking order under Hansi Flick. But given his loyalty to the Catalan club, Liverpool may once again turn their attention elsewhere. What's clear is that the need for a long-term solution at center-back remains urgent. Whether that means reigniting their interest in Guehi or targeting a new name entirely, Slot's side cannot afford another window without action. Alexander Isak says, belief is there. Liverpool can get back to best. It's difficult to know how to judge Liverpool's start to the 2025-26 season. Given the heavy squad turnover this past summer, and that many in the squad will still be struggling with the loss of friend and teammate Diogo Jota 3 months ago, a point off first 7 games into the season is hardly a bad position to be in. Yet at the same time, even having won most of their games, even having won every game they played until the past week, where they lost 3 on the bounce, with 2 of those in the league and 1 in the Champions League, there are legitimate tactical concerns that reach back beyond the summer to at least to the start of 2025. Liverpool simply haven't looked their best for essentially the entire calendar year. And while there have always been reasons to explain away the why, the truth remains that Liverpool simply haven't looked at their best for essentially the entire calendar year. As new signing Alexander Isak sees it, there's only one solution. I think the belief is there, Isak said when the striker was asked if this is a side that can reach the heights so many expected them to at the start of the season. This team has shown it many times, and it's never easy, of course, but hard work and working on the details can get us back to our best. We have that belief. I've been working to get back to my best, and I'm still working to get to my best form. It was good to play out there again. I was hoping for a different result, but we'll keep working. I'm excited for the whole season ahead. Game by game, we have to improve, of course, to achieve the things we want, but yeah, really excited. After looking the best side in Europe in the first half of last season, Liverpool slowed when the calendar ticked to 2025. Much of that appeared to be due to a regression in their press. At the time, tiredness and perhaps a lack of rotation were seen as most as the culprit. Despite that drop, Liverpool won the league at a canter. Having won the league then, nobody much cared how they looked across those final games. Then came a summer of turnover and tragedy. And it would be churlish and wrong not to now extend significant grace to the players and coaching staff if they're still as many undoubtedly still are, struggling with the latter. All of which leaves us without any real answers, aside perhaps from working hard, working on the details and believing this is a group. With the talent and graft and determination, both, the remaining players from the Jurgen Klopp era and the summer's new signings, to find their way back to playing like an elite side. Liverpool are in the midst of a defensive injury crisis, and it may just have got worse. Ibrahima Konate was withdrawn on the hour mark in their most recent outing against Chelsea, with manager Arne Slot later citing a quad issue. It comes during one of the trickiest spells in the Dutchman's tenure so far, with the Reds having lost 3 games on the bounce, including their trip to Stamford Bridge. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.